Hello and welcome to the 5th season of our Forest Green Rovers Sim to Glory here on Dexterity Box. We had a pretty insane January transfer window last episode. Will it be the same this episode, or will we have a little bit of a different type of transfer season? We obviously were quite disappointed the last season. We didn't get promoted from the Championship. We thought that was probably a team that could have got out of the Championship, especially with Mkhitaryan in the park. We should have really been getting out of the league. However, we have now got the most overpowered team in history, as you're about to see, as I build this team. Now, I realised I didn't actually show a lot of the player growth at the end of last season, and that's because a lot of our players actually had such a bad end to the season, the form dipped. That wasn't the actual reason I didn't film it, I forgot. However, that is what happened. The only players that really improved the likes of Jota. He went up from 83 to 85 over the course of the season, and he's going to probably be one that does stick around in this team if we can fit him in. We've obviously put Dele Alli in the middle of the park, so Mkhitaryan's are going to be a bench player now. We've got Silva coming in on the right there. I am questioning this formation with this group, but I do think we can definitely do something about it. So Morata's up top, Taliscio and Pogba in the midfield, Jota's up front there with Dembele on the left. Solid three in defence with Saul and Boateng coming in, obviously with Rojo in the middle. This means we've got space in our B team for a quality B team, especially for the Championship with Asuro and Philippe up front, Chamberlain on the right wing. I do think we could do with a little bit more cover again. I've really liked the way we've been growing Ampadu. He's 75 overall now. I think it's about time we actually go in for the permanent transfer of Ampadu. I am not bothered about paying about 8 million for him. As you can see, we're getting for 7.9 here. Let's get him in on decent wages. He's still only 21, can play centre-back and central defensive midfield. He only wants to be a sporadic player as well. So if we can get him in on this 5-year contract, this could be a quality bit of business for us as he grows for the future. 27 grand a week. It's not quite what he's wanting, but he's in. That is a very good signing. Obviously, we're going to do the European International Cup here. First match against Frankfurt. Let's see how this team goes. It's a 3-0 loss. That is because everybody's on international duty, of course. The pre-season, I'm learning even more so nowadays when you've got such an overpowered squad. It doesn't really matter. We are going to try and get some of our players out the door that are a bit surplus to the requirements here. So obviously we've signed Ampadu, which frees up like our aging centre-backs that are lower 70s. We can start to look at getting them out the door for some money. We've lost to Leon there. We're not doing well in this start of pre-season. Alberto, the offer's coming in for him. I would like to keep him, but I look at the money they're offering, and because he's 29 and because of the quality we've got in the midfield, I think if we can get a good few million for him, let's get him out there. Dawson is a player that I think will be surplus to requirements going forward in this team. Not too sure. Sending him out on loan is always the safest option. Can we turn this round now and we get a 3-1 win against Torino? So we're still, depending on how the other games have gone, we still might be in this tournament. Could have been kicked out. We'll see how it goes. I forget how many matches in it. Obviously, Ford, players like that, we don't need in the club anymore. We've sold Alberto. We've got about, I think it says 6.5 there in our budget, which is decent for us. Players moaning about not getting played, wanting matches. We start the Championship, so we're into it. This season should be the promotion season. Look at that squad we have got there. Ter Stegen, Boateng, Rojo, Saul, Silva, Tolisso, Pogba, Dembele, Ali, Morata and Jota with a strong bench. No wonder we are now 2-0 up in this match. We should absolutely dominate this league. However, Silva picking up a knock isn't fun there. Bring on Oxlade-Chamberlain for him. We score again. They pull one back. I'll happily take a 3-1 win to start the season. Let's see if we can carry it on away from home at Millwall. I have no idea what my voice just did then, but we'll go with it. So they get an early goal in the first half. We are losing. This is not looking good. This simulation system's broken. 2-0. Broken. Not breaking. But 2-0. We've got pretty much a world-class side, and we've just lost to Millwall away. FIFA, sort your simulation system out. Okay, Carabao Cup, I hate saying that, League Cup match against Fulham. 1-1 early in the first 20 minutes there, pretty much 2 minutes and 3 minutes goals there. That's a bit ridiculous, end-to-end stuff. However, Mitrovic for them goes off in the second half and Jota comes on and puts us in front 2-1. Can we see it through? Can we carry on in the Cup? That is a 2-1 win in the League Cup, and we're into the next round on that one. Not bad at all. Okay, Peterborough back into the Championship. So, can we turn this Championship season that's been off to a bit of a rocky start with one win, one loss? We do want to keep those wins going. We are 2-0 up going into the second half. Goals from Philippe and Oxlade-Chamberlain. This appears to be my B team. I've kept my B team out like an idiot, but my B team is still bossing it. B team boss that game 3-1. Let's go back to the actual world beaters in the main team for this whole game away now. Come on, we need an away victory. We haven't won away yet. Fourth match of the season. It's quiet first half an hour of the match. Can we get one before half time? We cannot. Goes into the second half. Not much is happening, just a lot of substitutions. And we get a goal just before 80 minutes. Morata scores on the 75th, and that is the goal that sees the game out. So, nothing to write home about, but it's a 1-0 win away from home. We'll take it. Osuro is not a player I'm looking to get rid of. Obviously, we don't need to get rid of. We're not really need to be a selling club the way I've structured this club going into the future. We're against Fulham again, but this time in the Championship. We get a goal on 12 minutes through Morata. They pull one back by Asano, but then Dele Alli smacks one straight in after that, so we go straight back in front. Rojo picks up a red card towards the last stages of the game. That's not great, but Morata seals it for us with another goal and a 3-1 win against Fulham. I've tried to get rid of this Jackson. You'll see it all the way through this episode. I try and get rid of that Jackson player on loan all the time, but it keeps refusing it. That's still a bug in FIFA that needs fixing. Okay, 1-0 away from home currently against Burnley. Can we do any more in this game? Pogba misses a penalty. That could cost us away from home, but Jota makes sure it doesn't, and we win 2-0 at Burnley. Going into this middle of the game, and the first minute, Morata scores a goal. Can we keep this up? I would like to add to it. No, they do get a goal back with Braithwaite, but Morata smacks it pretty much straight after that goal again, going into the lead. It's still quite close, this, though. As you can just see really quickly there, Pogba got a goal and Wing got a goal for them, so 3-2 is how that ended in pretty much the blink of an eye. Transfer deadline day. Okay, I can't see much happening on this day apart from outgoings. I try and get rid of this Jackson a lot. I'm accepting everything, just get him out the door, but it's just broken down. Brighton want to purchase Rojo, not interested in getting rid of him. 32, yes, he's an aging centre-back, but he's not that old. I'll keep him while he's rated 80 until he drops down to about 76. I'll keep him around. Edwards, not a player I'm looking to get rid of, really, but we will see what comes in. If anything better comes in for him, maybe loan him out or something like that. Transfer offer for Digby. I'm happy to get rid of these lower-end players that aren't really going to play for the club anymore, because obviously we're looking in the future. Offer for Vargas, though. You would think this is a player that's probably surplus to requirements. However, I tried to be a bit realistic with this. Realistic. And because he had such a stormer of a season and what he's done for us in this club, I don't want to get rid of him. He's pretty much a Forest Green Rovers legend, so we're going to hang on to him. I'm not... For $1.5 million, I'm keeping the player in the club because he can still play in the B team coming off the bench. And he can do bits for us. So we're going to simulate into January and see if this time the simulation system's got our back. This team should be absolutely dominating this. I'd like to still be in the cups as well. It would be nice to get a little bit of silverware this season because obviously we've still not won anything. I think you'll have to tell me. It's been a while. I ain't looked back on the videos, but I think we've won leagues at certain points lower down, but we have not actually won a tournament yet. I might be wrong. Obviously, you come back into this January window, there's a lot of contract management to do in. There's a lot of players moaning that they're not getting in the squad. Look, another loan offer for Jackson. He's still not gone. But I find out here that we're in the semi-finals of the League Cup against Forest. There's a very big chance that we are going to get into the final of this. And we're the top of the league as well. We're absolutely dominating. We are actually quite a few points. That's 8 points lead against Brighton at the top. We should be smashing this league. And we're also doing all right in the League Cup. This could be an absolute boss season for us. I am going to look at keeping players like Mignolet around. We do need a good backup keeper. 77 overall at 34. He's happy to be a sporadic keeper. He has genuinely got second keeper, B-team keeper written all over him now. This means he won't moan about not playing regularly, which means we've got a quality sort of, average player, even for the Premiership, as our backup keeper, so I'm happy with that. Salter needs a new contract. He's obviously a player that's developing. He's 25, so I don't know if he'll be in the club that much longer, but I'm happy to keep him on relatively low wages for what we're paying now and just keep him around as a backup at 73 overall. Navarez is done bits with us. He only wants rotation. If I can keep him on in a decent wage, happy to have him at the squad. 76 overall. Obviously, we're still in the Championship, realistically. He can walk into any Championship club pretty much at 76 overall. He only wants 10,500 a week. I'll happily do that. Mkhitaryan's dropped to 78, so he is very much on the decline. Sporadic player, 1 year. For his position, obviously, he's competing with Dele Alli. He's not going to get into the squad, so I'm happy to do that. And he only wants 17 grand as opposed to 75. He knows he's on the decline. Happy to have him around. Vargas, let's get you in to the club for a little bit longer. You're 28 now. How about you finish your career with us? Get you on a 3-year deal. 71 overall. A prospect. You're not going to get many games, but I'm happy to pay you 11 grand for another 3 years. Asuro is a player for the future. 23, 78 overall. He's not going to rip up any trees. He's not going to be in near the 90s, but he could be a solid 80 player. So if we can get him, around this 35 grand there, long-term contract, happy to keep him tied to the club. Let's get into this semi-final against Nottingham Forest. Let's do it. I think this is our first semi-final, so it's a big one. It's quiet first 20 minutes. It is not. Dele Alli on 19 minutes smashes us ahead. Can we keep it going? We can with Morata on the 38th minute. He puts us 2-0 up going into the second half. Still leading. They haven't really done much yet. 2 goals from Dele Alli puts us 3-0 ahead. We have absolutely smashed this semi-final, and Dele Alli gets a hat-trick, making it a 4-0 victory against Nottingham Forest, and we are in the final of the English League Cup. Okay, so we're going to scout some players. We are going to look at doing a ridiculous January transfer window, because now we know we're pretty much going to be a Premiership team come next season. So let's build so we can challenge straight away. That'll make this season more interesting. If we can literally be challenging for the title straight away, I think that could be quite entertaining. So we're going to go in for the likes, as you can see here, Marcus Asensio. It's a ridiculous signing. He's 93 overall. We are sat in the Championship. The fact that FIFA lets you do this, I always think you should let you sign free transfers. Keep that, FIFA. Don't get rid of this. However, if you altered it where the player said if you didn't get promoted that they wouldn't sign, or something that brought a little bit of realism into it, would help. And I guess I can't really talk there because Asensio just turned us down. He doesn't want 200 grand a week. Maybe I was being a bit overly realistic. What about Leroy Sané? He is a player I actually love using on FIFA, and I know I don't get to play with him in the Sim to Glory. However, the money he wants, I don't want that appearance bonus, but I'm happy to pay that wage. 150, I'm even happy to pay that. It's the same level as Asensio, so we'll bring him in. Leroy Sané is going to be a Forest Green Rovers player next season. Really happy about that signing. We're going to try and bring in Umtiti. We could do with a world-class centre-back for our Premiership journey next season. He's on 390 grand a week. I don't want to pay him that. I'm happy to have him on a 3-year contract. Obviously, he'll be crucial, but can we bring that wage down a little bit? Because that's a lot of money for the position we're in. I decided that I'm going to try and get him at around 200 grand. We will pay like 2 million in bonuses. I'd be happy to bring him in on that. He wants a hefty appearance bonus again. We negotiate 240. It's better than 390. Happy to have him in. Look at this. We've now got Malcolm from Real Madrid in for talks. I'm going a little bit silly now. Maybe in the future, if we have a bit of comments and we have a bit of chat, I'll keep it ultra realistic. However, we've not talked about any of that so far, so we're just going to go within what the game can allow. Bringing in Malcolm, 90 overall. While we're in the Championship, that does annoy me a little bit, actually. Maybe next time, if I do another one of these, I won't sign these players until we're absolutely bossing it. I do, however, decide to leave it there, though. We're not going to do any more. We've got an insane team already. We don't want to absolutely make the rest of the series completely boring. Let's go in to this second leg of the League Cup semi-final. I was actually wrong. I forgot this has got 2 legs because I'm an idiot. But we're 4-0 up. That's pretty much put us in. Apart from they do get a goal, but Dembele gets a goal for us, so then that's the away goal as well. Are away goals working in the League Cup? I think they do. I can't remember. But 1-1. Forest are holding us up to the 70th minute. Can we actually win this? Or are we going to lose it? Because there's no way they're going to beat us now. But we actually draw in that, so Forest hold themselves to account. But that's not really helping them much. We are going to go to transfer deadline day now, do that, and then because there's a chance of silverware, we are going to simulate to the final rather than simulating the entire end of the season because I want to play that final. Well, not play it, but simulate it and show you guys it in a bit more detail rather than just skipping over it. Okay, so transfer deadline day. Yet again, it's just outgoings if there's going to be any. Jackson, just go. We don't need you anymore. I've never actually needed you. Okay, still at the top of the league come February, obviously. Let's go to this final of the League Cup against Man City. They have got home advantage, which we know in the simulation system isn't that great for you. So we are at a disadvantage here. Let's see what happens. We do pick up an early yellow card in the 2 minutes, but then Dembele puts us in front in the 29th minute. Can we hold it out going into the second half? Jesus for them missed a penalty. We've been let off with one there. Morata puts us 2-0 up. Oh my god, are we actually going to win silverware? We could do this, guys. 80th minute, they've still not scored. We're still 2-0 up. They do get a goal back through Jesus, but it is too late. They score in the 90th minute. We have won our first piece of silverware in this Sim to Glory, guys. Absolutely loving that. Let's get on with the simulation for the rest of the season and see if we can get a decent accolade in winning the league. It's looking likely, guys. We are 17 points ahead of Brighton now. My boys Wednesday have unfortunately fallen to 6th and they're just about hanging on there, so hopefully they can come up with us through the playoffs. We will see. Let's slow roll these last couple of matches just for glory because we do want to win that title. 1-0 up, 2-0 up. That's just how I like it, okay? Going into Reading. See if we do the same. We should absolutely smash Reading. And we do. 3-0. Boss in this. We need to get in that Premier League and start playing some awesome games. Okay, so I didn't do this last episode. Let's have a rundown of how the players have grown. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but as you can see on the screen here, we've got some aging players dropping off a bit. We've got some that are rising. Saul's now 91. Salter's gone to 74, not bad. Ampardo's 77. Jackson's improved, but he's still here. Harper's at 78, which I'll happily take. Pogba's stayed at 91. He does sort of like teeter off there. Dele Alli stayed at 90. So our big players are sticking around that. Dembele's gone up 2, but Mkhitaryan's absolutely bombed by the looks of it. Sura's gone up 1. Jota's gone up to 87. What a player at 26. Could we get him into the 90s? I don't actually know Jota had a potential of the 90s. And we have smashed the league. 20 points ahead of Brighton. We are the champions. We have got Bolton, Charlton and Wigan going down. My boys Wednesday in 4th. Hopefully they went up via the playoffs. What an interesting FA Cup final. Watford and Reading in the final of the FA Cup and Watford win. I'm not surprised that Watford won that, but that's insane. Our first piece of silverware there, beating Man City in the League Cup. Cardiff beat Fulham in the playoffs, which means Wednesday haven't come up with us, which is sad for me internally. I know it's only a game, but always wish Wednesday to do well in every version. We've got Man United winning the Super Cup against Arsenal, so that's an all-English Super Cup there. Real Madrid battering Liverpool 4-1 in the final of the Champions League there. Not too good for him. And Borussia Mönchengladbach winning 2-1 against Lazio in the Europa League. So that's a new one. We've got Spurs winning the Premier League there with West Brom, Huddersfield and Nottingham Forest going down. Oh, Notts Forest are a Premier League team, are they? Interesting. So we beat 2 Premier League teams in the run-up, probably more. Swansea won League One with, let's have a look at the rest, who's going down here. I forget if it's 4 or 3, but for definite, Southend, Rochdale and Burton are going down. League 2, Colchester won the league there. Fleetwood coming in 2nd. We've got, I think it is 4 again that drop. I always forget. So it could be Carlisle and that lot down there. PSG win the League One, but level on points with Marseille. That must really sting for Marseille. Bayern smashed the Bundesliga that year with Dortmund 12 points behind. Juventus win the Serie A by 5 points. And Rangers have absolutely dominated the Scottish Premiership that season. Look at that. 18 points in front of Celtic and 15 points in front of Hibs. What an effort there. Barcelona beating Real Madrid to the title by quite some margin there. 7 points. They're on 95 points. So an interesting season for quite a lot of clubs there. However, for Forest Green Rovers, we have absolutely smashed this league, getting our first bit of silverware, getting promoted to the Premiership. We are now a Premiership team. Let's make that next episode absolutely awesome and show the Premier League what we can do. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on Dexterity Box.